FM News Talk 97.1. On demand audio. You're listening to Allman in the Morning. Common Sense Radio.
7:51, your traffic updates at 971talk.com and via the mouth of Denise. So we're going to keep on this, and a lot of you sitting in traffic. It's icy. Be careful. Folks, I got to tell you this. If you think that your media is doing the job of informing you with full facts, you're crazy. And this is why, when I talked to Andy Stern earlier, he said that when polled, most people support the public employees. Well, no wonder. Because it's being framed as taking away rights and that it's political payback for Governor Walker, which is completely false. And Chris Matthews just continues to perpetuate that, as do the other media outlets. So, let's begin.
I love meat. I love meat.
With the Red Meat Roundup, as we attempt to round up the 3 brain cells that Chris Matthews has left. Let us begin with him getting his rear handed to him by a guy who basically is telling him, listen, dude, you have your facts wrong.
Let me go to the Republican Senator Grothman. My question, of course, is why does the governor pick on the unions that didn't endorse him in the last campaign but give a free ride to the firefighters and the cops who did in the localities? Why do they get off and be allowed to continue to negotiate collectively?
Well, one more time, you're completely uninformed. The firemen's union around the state have repeatedly campaigned against Republicans, and the statewide police have repeatedly campaigned against Republicans.
Yeah, so with the exception of a word I have never heard, which was uninformed, I'll take that guy's wits over Chris Matthews' wits any day of the week. That's the second time in as many days that we've had a major news anchor completely butcher and, in my opinion, just purposely ignore the facts. Yesterday, it was the dude from CBS Morning News.
You say this is a modest request. Now, some state workers have been hit harder than others. Your teachers union, which votes Democratic under normal circumstances, hit very hard. Yet your police, state trooper, firemen unions, who all supported and endorsed you, did not get touched in any of this. And why is that?
Well, Chris, it actually is not true. There are 314 fire and police unions in the state. 4 of them endorsed me. All the rest endorsed my opponent.
Yeah, I mean, the facts are the facts, okay, folks? The firefighters unions and the police guys didn't support Governor Walker. This isn't payback. Stop lying to the American people, media guys. Now, again, Matthews, this is another topic. Matthews talking to a state senator from Texas. This is on that issue we talked about yesterday about guns on college campuses. And this is Matthews talking to this guy. And not once but twice just totally butchering the facts. Check it out.
Do you think it's going to be weird for a student to get his grades from a professor while he's armed? Senator?
Well, they're posted usually on a bulletin board in the hall. I mean, you don't walk up to your professor.
Well, imagine a meeting between it just seems odd that if I were a professor and I had a student who was armed when we're having our tutorial, we're talking about the grades or anything. It just seems odd to know you're looking into a classroom and you're seeing men and women with guns in the classroom. Doesn't that seem odd to you?
No, you're not. In Texas, you cannot display your weapons.
Okay, Matthews keeps going back to this well with all these facts. He's like, he's got this battering ram. Yeah, what about the grades? You can't answer. Well, actually, they don't ever have contact with their professors over grades. Yeah, well, what about the fact they've been carrying guns around? You actually can't do that. It's like, I mean, you have any more questions? I mean, any more questions?
That's not a crime to call up Al-Qaeda, is it?
Yes, it is. Now on to more Chris Matthews. Let's do more Chris Matthews, shall we? I guess it was only a matter of time before the Libyan deal wound up being something that would dovetail into a criticism of Sarah Palin, right?
Do you think she's running?
I thought she wouldn't, but every time I read about her, she seems so self-centered that I don't know how she could pass up this opportunity.
She's like Muammar Gaddafi. She just doesn't know the world around her.
That's some comparison.
If she shows up with an umbrella and starts saying, "I'm here, I'm not there." Anyway, thank you. I thought that was one of the.
Just shut up, dick.
This obsession with Sarah Palin, where he tried to shoehorn some criticism of her with Gaddafi is incredible. Oh, your phone call straight ahead, 969-9797, 866-455-9797. The Colonel is straight ahead.